respected dignitaries on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, proud families, and dear students. Good morning to all of you. It is an absolute honor for me to be standing here today amongst all of you and addressing the outgoing batch of 2025 VIT engineers. As sir introduced, I did my electronics engineering from VIT. I passed out in 2006. And back then, if someone would have told me that a few years down the line, I would be a chief guest at VIT's passing out ceremony, I probably would not have believed them. And how could I, right? Because there were so many things on my mind at that time, like playing cricket at Mahesh Cricket Ground and Shahu Cricket Ground. We used to call it MCG and SCG at that time. Or slipping in the middle of classes to go to Katra's Dairy. I'm sure you all have done that sometime. But jokes apart, there were a lot of things on my mind at that time, like doing my final year project, trying to get placed through campus interviews, possibly applying for masters. So thinking about where I would be 20 years later was probably the last thing on my mind. Today we have gathered here today to celebrate your success, your sacrifices, your family's sacrifices, your sweat, blood, tears, pretty much everything that you have given over the last 4 years. And I would like to take this opportunity to give you all a small glimpse into my journey so far and how the foundation laid at VIT actually helped me at every single point in time. As I was in VIT, I can recall two major events that had a big impact. One, a chance participation in a robotics competition held at IIT Bombay, TechFest. The problem statement was given, our team made the robot, and we happened to win that competition. That win gave us the much needed confidence and conviction that said that you can go out and compete against the best in the country and still come out on top. It was a glowing tribute to the all-round learning that we were fostered with in VIT, and that continues till even today. The second was my final year project in VIT. The project was in RFID technology itself, and it was titled Campus Solutions Using RFID, under the guidance of Dr. Professor Shilaskar ma'am. The project was essentially a proof of concept which demonstrated how this technology can be useful on college campuses. And the impact of this project on my career has been nothing short of spectacular, as you will soon see. After my VIT, I went to NTU to do my master's in computer control and automation. Over there, we were supposed to do a master's project, or dissertation as they called it. And we needed to work with some professors based on the work and research that they were doing and shortlist a topic for your project. So as I was going through the options, I came across some work done by a professor in the field of RFID technology and industrial automation. And I thought to myself, okay, this sounds familiar. So I went to that professor, and he also saw and was very happy with the kind of background and experience that I had in VIT related to this particular domain. He very kindly gave me the opportunity to work on that project for my master's. While my master's was going on, I also happened to get a job with one company in Singapore working on the same technology. That was again a stroke of luck, I would say, that I happened to remain in the same field. With that company, I was put on a very interesting project, Singapore Airlines. The project involved RFID tagging of safety equipment on board an aircraft. This safety equipment could be life vests, it could be oxygen canisters, fire extinguishers, and many such other equipment. The purpose of that project was that when an aircraft lands in a foreign country, the airline staff needs to spend a minimum amount of time to conduct a mandatory audit. And this audit involves checking the presence of life vest below every seat. It involves checking the expiry date of fire extinguishers. So using technology, they were able to quickly run a quick audit and turn around the plane faster. And this was important because for every single minute that the plane is stationed at a foreign airport, the cost to the airline is to the tune of $600 per minute. So my experience with this project actually completely changed my dimension, and I started looking at all my learnings that I had in VIT and NTU thereon from a much more practical standpoint, and how you can make a difference in commercial sense of terms. It also helped me go deeper into my understanding of the technology. It was around this time that my friends and we started thinking about starting up by ourselves. The field we chose was the same, given the background. And also we wanted to do something in India because this technology was at a very nascent stage in terms of adoption in India. So in the October of 2009, I quit my company, I quit my job in Singapore, and I came back to India. I was 24. We registered our company and we started going out into the market trying to get business for the company. We went to many companies, big, small, trying to tell the people at those companies that RFID can help you in this way, RFID can help you in that way. We tried to build solutions such as asset management and laptop tracking. But soon reality struck, and we realized that companies in India at that time were not really ready to change their legacy operations and processes, let alone change them from a bunch of 24-year-olds. So as time went by, our desperation also grew. We started selling CCTV cameras. We started selling fingerprint, time and attendance systems. We got decent success in that. Our families also helped us getting the initial few orders. But at the back of our minds, we were not happy. We always wanted to do something in high technology stuff, something to do with core engineering. We didn't want to become pure traders, and we wanted to do something in RFID. Luckily, at that time, we got introduced to one big jewelry company in Mumbai by the name Gitanjali Jewels. They are pretty infamous now, but back then, they were a big name. They invited us to compete against 7 other vendors in order to get their project. One of the competitors was from France, another competitor was from Japan, a third competitor was from Dubai, and the rest were from India. We competed, we proved a point, and we managed to get that project. And that was the starting point, actual starting point in the journey of our company, which we later on focused only on enabling RFID for the diamonds and jewelry industry. Time went by, business expanded, we set up offices in 5 countries. But what stands out today for me, as I stand here in front of all of you, is how those dots got connected. How a final year project in VIT actually contributed to my business, actually contributed to becoming a business for me, and is relevant even today, 20 years later. How a competition just gave the confidence that was needed to go and win against the world. So, as I conclude, I would like to leave you all with 3 major takeaways from my journey. And I would say that these are not just takeaways from my journey alone, but the journey of many people like me, and you will soon find relevance in your respective journeys as well. The first takeaway is passion over paycheck. Now, recently you all might have heard about this debate about 90-hour work weeks and 70-hour work weeks and 40-hour work weeks. But in my opinion, and especially at your age, if you're doing something that you genuinely are passionate about, you will lose track of the hours you spend in a work week. You may be concerned about the paycheck part of it, but let me tell you this, that even if today your salary is not as per your expectation, if you're doing something that you're absolutely passionate about, that salary is not just going to multiply, it's going to multiply exponentially. So always follow your dream, as said, and follow your passion. The second takeaway is meritocracy over mediocrity. A few years back, I attended this talk by Mr. Narayan Murthy, and somebody asked him a question: how do you hire, or how should you hire? And what he said really stuck with me. He said that when you hire, always hire somebody who is smarter than you. Because if you don't, and that person hires somebody who is not as smart as him, then pretty soon the company is full of idiots. And that really stuck with me. And it is something which I believe all of us should be following this as a principle in our professional life. Also, when you go out into the corporate world, it is not going to be fair all the time. You will be surrounded with people who are having some agendas. You will be surrounded with people who are smarter than you, some maybe not as smart as you. So you will have to find that balance for yourself. So meritocracy over mediocrity is what you need to remember. And the third thing that I would like to leave you all with is ethics over profit. Many a time going forward, you will be faced with a lot of situations. In some situations, you may be forced to compromise. In some situations, you may choose to compromise. And in most situations, you will have the option to not compromise. What you choose at that moment in time is going to define you as a person. It's going to define your character. It's going to define you as a leader. It's going to define your colleagues and possibly your own company as well. So remember, in whatever you do, always put ethics at the forefront of your value chain and do not compromise with that at all. And while you're at it, also give it a flavor of sustainability, because that is not just a buzzword today, it is also the need of the hour. With that, I would like to wish each and every one of you all the very best in the next professional chapter of your story. Thank you so much.